Why should you visit central Japan? Between the bustle of city life in Tokyo and Osaka, there's a wealth of natural beauty across varied landscapes with stunning rural scenery, welcoming towns, and historical treasures. There are also multiple transportation pass options that can make travel during your trip here more convenient. In this video, I'll talk about a couple of convenient travel pass options for this region, how to purchase these passes through Klook, and how you can use them to enjoy historic towns, like what we did in Takayama. We spent the day in the Hida region of Gifu Prefecture, in Takayama, a city surrounded by mountains and known for its wood craftsmanship. You might be surprised to know that Takayama is the largest city in Japan, based on physical area, thanks to merging with 9 surrounding towns and villages in 2005 to share resources. It's over 2,000 square kilometers, larger than Tokyo, but 92% of it is forest. Before I tell you what we did in Takayama, first I'll share a couple ways to get there. Depending on where else you want to go in Japan, you could use the Alpine Takayama Matsumoto Area Pass, or the Takayama Hokuriku Area Pass, to get the most out of this area. The Alpine Takayama Matsumoto Area Pass is great if you also want to check out the Alps in Toyama or Nagano prefectures, or the cities of Matsumoto and Nagoya. If you're coming from farther west, the Takayama Hokuriku Area Pass will cover your transportation throughout Osaka, Kyoto, Nagoya, or Kanazawa. Once you've decided on the pass that best suits your plans, you'll buy tickets online and get a voucher mailed to your house. When you come to Japan, just bring the voucher with you to redeem it at any JR exchange office, which are in most major train stations. The journey from Toyama to Takayama Station takes around 1.5 hours, and from Nagoya it takes around 2.5 hours, using the Hida line. Once we arrived in Takayama, the first thing we did was visit the Miyagama morning market. It opens at 7 or at 8 a.m. in the winter, and it runs until noon. There are seasonal fruits and vegetables for sale, as well as food, pickled goods, souvenirs, and crafts. Keep an eye out for these wood statues around town, especially on the market street. They're a reminder of Takayama's rich lumber and woodcrafts industry. In fact, the craftsmen here were so skilled at woodworking that during the Edo period, a special tax exemption was made for Takayama and the larger Hida province. Taxes that were normally paid in rice could be paid with carpentry labor instead. These craftsmen were called Hida No Takumi, literally the experts of Hida. One of my favorite parts of our trip was visiting the Showa Era museums. There are 2 in this city. We went to the Showa-Kan museum, which had so many historical items and a full Showa Era set to explore. We especially enjoyed browsing the candy and bought a few kinds to take home, including lemon chews with edible wrappers and tart kombu vinegar candies. Oh.
Drops.
Yeah. It was 1,000 yen for adults to enter, and you could walk inside all the retro-themed rooms and recreated streets. The Showa Era was from December 25th, 1926, until Emperor Hirohito's death on January 7th, 1989. It was preceded by the Taisho Era and succeeded by the Heisei Era. Sometimes the second part of the Showa Era, from the 50s to the 80s, is romanticized as a kind of golden age here, because Japanese culture and products were spreading and becoming more well-known. Retro-themed museums and cafes have become popular in Japan because I guess they bring a feeling of nostalgia. This was a really fun place to visit. If you're someone who thinks history is a bit too dry, though, why not get something to quench your thirst in Takayama instead? Our next stop was a Sake Brewery Tour, which we booked ahead through the Klook app. Takayama has been producing sake for hundreds of years, and it's said that there were over 50 different breweries operating here in the Edo period. Today there are 7 sake breweries in Takayama, all within a short walking distance around the main downtown area. This tour took us to Hirase Sake Brewery, the oldest one in Takayama. I had a QR code on my phone, which made checking in for the sake tour easy, and the tour lasted about 45 minutes. You can recognize a sake brewery by the Sugidama, or the ball of cedar leaves, that hangs in front of the entrance. This shows the age of the sake batch, since these cedar balls are created when the sake is brewed. So when a fresh green Sugidama is hung outside, you know the new sake is ready. As the cedar dries and ages, you can tell how the sake is maturing as well. Hirase Sake Brewery has been in operation for 400 years, so they know a thing or two about high-quality sake methods. Sake is made of rice, so of course the local rice is important, but I learned that high-quality fresh water is the real thing that sets the top sake breweries apart. We tasted 6 different kinds, including a non-pasteurized sake that doesn't get exported out of Japan, a uniquely sour plum sake, and my favorite, yuzu sake. Speaking of delicious things, this area is known for its Hida beef, one of the finest quality varieties of beef in Japan. It comes from the black-haired cattle breed that has to be raised in Gifu Prefecture for at least 14 months. Of course, if you don't prefer meat, there are plenty of delicious local mountain vegetable dishes as well. If you want something sweet, the custard-based pudding and soft serve in Takayama makes a great dessert. During our afternoon in Takayama, we walked around the Higashiyama Walking Course, which allows you to tour several temples and shrines at your own pace. The Sakurayama Hachimangu shrine dates back to the 400s. At that time, the two-faced monster Ryomen Sukuna was said to have been causing trouble in the Hida Takayama area. Yes, the villain in the popular series Jujutsu Kaisen is based on the same legendary character. According to the Sakurayama Hachimangu shrine website, this was a beast with 2 heads, 4 arms, and 4 legs. Takefurukuma no Mikoto was sent to fight it. This shrine is said to have originated when the warrior enshrined Emperor Ojin as the deity of this sanctuary to pray for the success of that mission. Over 1,000 years later, in 1683 under the Kanamori clan rule, the shrine was enlarged and established officially to protect Takayama. Over 1.5 million people visit every year. Goshuin are honorable seals that you can buy at temples or shrines to document your visit, like commemorating with a spiritual stamp. The nearby Matsuri Yatai Kaikan displays some of the ornately decorated floats that are paraded around Takayama streets during the twice-annual festivals. These huge festivals happen in April and October. You can also see the storehouses around town that hold the ornate floats inside. No matter which part of central Japan you visit, it's sure to be a fun experience. The best part is, with one of these travel passes from Klook, you don't have to choose just one spot. Start your planning and booking today in the Klook mobile app or at klook.com.